I can almost see this old man, almost 100 years old, walking uphill with his son beside him. This son is not an ordinary son. It's the beloved son. It's the only son this man has. And this young man, called Isaac, is walking uphill with the wood for the sacrifice on his back. 2,000 years later, Jesus, the beloved Son of God, walks uphill with the wood on his back, and the Father was in pain. The event happens as Abraham left his servants down at the foot of the hill and walks with his son. He is acting his faith. He claims to believe, but will he act on his faith? Will he prove his faith with his actions? And he is troubled. He's in pain. He's perplexed. What is he going to do? The son is walking beside him. And at some point, the son is asking him a question. The story is in Genesis chapter 22, verse 7. But Isaac spoke to Abraham, his father, and said, "My father." So Abraham is startled. His son all of a sudden interrupted his thoughts. What is Isaac going to say? The lad said, "Look, the fire and the wood. But where is the lamb for a burnt offering?" All of a sudden, the young man realizes that they have all they need, but the most important thing that they need, they don't have. Where is the lamb for the burnt offering? And I would like to say that this question, where is the lamb, was the question of the humanity. Who is going to die for us? Where is the lamb? Where is the lamb for the burnt sacrifice? We need a perfect, spotless lamb. And Isaac, through the mouth of the humanity, he's asking, where is the lamb? Thank God the lamb was provided. And look what Abraham is going to say. Verse 8, and Abraham said, "My son, God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering." So the two of them went together. God will provide, and God did provide. About 2,000 years later, God provided the lamb. We didn't have to worry about that anymore. The sacrifice was made. We see in the future this wonderful event that happened from the time Abraham lived, that the only beloved Son of God walked uphill with the wood on his back. What an obedient son. A son that agrees with the Father. A son that is in one thought with his Father. He's not resisting. We read here that Isaac was bound and put on the altar to be sacrificed. He didn't put up a fight. He didn't ask his father, "What are you doing?" And the Son of God was laid on the cross, and he didn't make a sound. He was willing to die for us. He was not forced to do it. He gave his life. He chose to give his life. And I see in these wonderful stories in Old Testament a shadow of Christ, when in Isaac's life we see Christ. And how did this story end? Right when Abraham was about to slay his son, his hand was stopped. An angel said, "Abraham, Abraham, do not lay your hand upon the lad." Let's read the verse. Verse 12, and he said, the angel, Do not lay your hand on the lad or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God. When did God know? When did God knew that Abraham feared God? When he was obedient. This act of faith was done in obedience. Abraham did not understand everything, but he decided to obey anyway. What an example of faith. Wouldn't you like to be like that? I would like to be like that, to be obedient, even in the things I do not necessarily understand fully. But he chose to be obedient, and God said, I know now that you fear God. What a beautiful verse. And there's one more verse I would like to read with you. Verse 18. In your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. What nation exactly? All the nations. All the nations of the world will be blessed in Abraham, and he will have his seed in all the nations. This is a wonderful promise. I am not a Jew, and I know many Jews will be saved. But I also know that many other nations, from all the other nations, people will be saved, and people will be blessed, and people will be the true followers of Abraham. Those who have faith and who act upon their faith. Those who fear God truly. I find peace. I find hope in these beautiful stories in the Old Testament, and I see the most important thing. I see a shadow of Christ. I see Jesus in the life of this man. Would you like to live your life that people will see Christ in your life? May your prayer be today, Lord, take shape in me. You created Adam and Eve in your image. I believe you create man and woman in your image today. Create me in me. Create in me a pure heart and put in me a new spirit. May this prayer be your prayer and my prayer. Amen.